Notts County Talk, back with another video. Before we go into it, I'd just like to say, obviously me and Tom are going to be a part for this video. We're just going to sort of edit a few clips together of ourselves and combine it together to make our normal sort of format for a match preview. So let us know if you like the sort of new format. It's obviously due to the new restrictions that are put in place where you can't mix households. So we're going to obviously have to abide by that for now. Hopefully it's not too long, but you know, we're just making do, so let us know what you think in the comments after the video. But yeah, on to Saturday's game. So we've got Maidenhead at home. I think it's a great chance to build on the momentum that we're building early on here. I don't want to dwell on things, but it just, you have that anger, don't you, towards the sort of Dover game where you're thinking, if that pitch was a little bit better, would we have got the result and would we be flying on confidence? I think we are flying on confidence anyway, but 4 wins from 4 going into a game like Maidenhead at home, no disrespect, we've got to be looking for 3 points. So yeah, that's the game really. So I'm going to hand over to the stat man himself, Tom.
Cheers, George. Let's get on with the stats for the game. Maidenhead are 19th in the table currently. Notts sit in 3rd. We have complete opposite records. Notts won 3, lost 1. That loss looks very poor the way Dover are going at the minute, shipping goals in, looking like they're not going to find a win from anywhere. And Maidenheads have won 1, lost 3. We look at the goals conceded. I always like to look at that. Maidenhead have conceded 10, including 3 to Kings Lynn. If you're conceding 3 to Kings Lynn, your defence can't be that sharp. And they've only scored 3. Notts, on the other hand, conceded 4, and we rectified our mistake against Sutton in the week. We rectified that by not conceding, and we never like conceding. I think part of that was Lacey coming back in the squad. So we're showing that Maidenhead don't really score many, and they concede quite a lot, although their clean sheet did come in a surprise win at Wrexham, which is a fantastic win considering in all National League competitions at the beginning of this season, at the end of last, they only they managed no points and they lost 8 in a row. So they look like a team that couldn't get out of it and go and beat Wrexham. But that's football for you. So we've got to be wary of them, but the stats do look in our favour. So moving on to the players to watch, we've got another team that's fallen in the Dover category. Can't find a fan that wants to talk about their team. They happily read the messages asking for fans, but they're not bothered about telling us who to watch out for. So got a name from last season that I was impressed with, and a couple that have put shifts in already this season. So we've got Sean Donnellan. He's an Irish centre-back. He has played youth level for West Brom. He's been at Yeovil, notably last season Woking, and also Walsall in the Football League. Now, he was instrumental against Wrexham, made it into Team of the Week. He can play across the back line or in a holding midfield position. So he's a player that is versatile, and you can't really plan against a player that can play in so many positions. You can't say he's definitely going to play there. But Ardy likes to do his homework. I know he's a stats man. So that's something that, you know, we might have to look at and nullify the effect that he might have on the game. Moving on is another player that made Team of the Week. It's Josh Coley. Now, he scored the only goal in the 33rd minute against Wrexham. A good goal as well if you've seen it. The game was on BT Sport. If you've seen it, it's a very good goal. It's a well-worked goal. And he's going to be a man we've got to watch out for. If they're going to get a goal, their threat may come from him. But he's a player going to be banging confidence, banging form. So Josh Coley. And finally, a player I've mentioned in the last 2 previews against Maidenhead is Joshua Smile. He was the only player that really impressed me when we played Maidenhead last season. Not too many other players had that effect on me when we played them. He's on the bench the last game, so it'll be interesting to see if he does play, because he was instrumental last season. 34 appearances, 3 goals from midfield, 5 yellows, so he gets stuck in a team that don't really score many goals. Chipping in with 3 from midfield is about average, but yeah, he's come through the ranks at Fulham. He's just a solid player for Maidenhead. But you look at our players that are going to oppose him in that position, you Reeves, you Doyle, and I just think our players massively outweigh the quality that Maidenhead have. So I'll pass you on to George. He's going to talk you through the team news and the lineup we've both picked.
Thanks, Tom. As always, thanks for the stats. I agree with what you're saying in terms of, I think we've got the quality in our side to overpower Maidenhead, but only time will tell. But yeah, I'm going to move on to team news now. So there's obviously a bit of a headline today for team news. We've signed Matty Wolf from Barnsley on loan. Now, it's a short-term loan. It's until January the 3rd. So he's sort of a youth player. He's had one senior appearance for Barnsley. This will be his first time away from Barnsley, as he's had a 10-year youth career at Barnsley since 2010. So he's going to be looking to impress, I think. And I think it's clever business by us, because if he doesn't fit into the model, it's only January that he's got to go back. But if he does, I feel like he'd probably get that extension if we needed it, and he slotted into the team really well. So yeah, good bit of business, and I'll be interested to see how he performs in the coming games. But moving on to sort of the current team news, Turner again, he's a doubt, isn't he? He's not been around the team for a while now. He's not got the minutes. There's not overly loads of news on him, but we're hoping he's back soon. Well, I am anyway. I think there's probably a few fans that don't agree with me, but I quite like Ben Turner. Damien McCrory, he obviously had that game last week, so I think he's going to be raring to go, and he'll be sort of breathing down Ardy's neck if he is fit and ready to get in. But yeah, I'm going to move on to the team. Going to stick sort of similar team that was played against Sutton, if not exactly the same. So in goal, Slocum. He sort of picks himself. Wouldn't mind seeing our other keeper, Pilling, or Pilling, however you want to say it, because he looked good in pre-season, you know, and it'd be nice to sort of get that rotation going, get a bit of competition going. But as it stands, you know, Slocum's been good. He got a clean sheet last game, so you can't really ask any more. But yeah, moving on to right back, going Brindley. Can't really, for me, he's a very, very good player. I think one of the players we are lucky to have. He's changed my mind of recent and this season. You know, it was the battle of Kelly Evans. We do really like Kelly Evans, but we might see him in the back four. You'll see when I get to left back. But yeah, it's standard stuff for him. You know, he's great defending, great going forward. He's so quick off the point. He's brilliant, I think. But yeah, that's right back. So 2 centre-backs, Rawlinson and Lacey. Again, wouldn't mind seeing Graham, but I do think Rawlinson and Lacey have got that solidarity where you sort of have the faith in. They've got that communication, and it's just going to be a tough back two to get past. Left back, Kelly Evans. He had to dig in against Sutton. He had it tough because he had that winger he was very good. I can't remember what his name was off the top of my head, but we did mention him in the Sutton preview. Very agile, you know, he's skipping past players. He turned a couple of players a few times. His life was made difficult, and I think he did quite well. Played quite well as well, I think. Well, not one of his best games, but you know, to say what he was up against, I thought he played quite well. You got to think about the pitch as well. It's a 3G pitch, very fast. It was raining, so the ball's gliding across that. So yeah, I know it's the same for both teams, but we're not really used to it. So yeah, now sitting in front of the defence, they pick themselves, Doyle and Reeves. Reeves for obvious reasons, and I want to say as well, because it's something we didn't really pick up on too much because of the pure elation when we did score against Sutton in the 93rd minute. Doyle's pass, when the keeper kicks it out, he just like pinpoint. He puts it right in front of Knowles, and it was the key to opening the door for us to score the goal, really. So, you know, you can't leave him out. Doyle is the captain. He's 39. He's an absolute. I can't say anymore. He's just doing everything you want him to do as captain. But I'm having those sort of more of a defensive in front of the back four as you do. So it's like a 4-3-3, but with like an attacking midfielder. And the attacking midfielder I've gone with is Rodriguez. Now, he did impress me in the first half against Sutton. I thought he played very well. I think he's sort of getting up to speed now, and if he can get that consistency in playing time, I think we're going to see a special player. I know I've said that a few times now, but I can really feel it with this one. In front of him, we've got a three. So on the right wing, going Carl Roberts. I'm not going to go into it too much. He picks himself. He's our best player, in my opinion. On the left, I'm going Enzio. Be nice to see him getting a few more minutes under his belt. You know, get back to old ways. He's obviously got that goal. He's off the mark. So I think he's going to be confident. We're at home as well, so he's going to want to be playing the way that he was last season. And the man that scored the goal against Sutton, Kyle Wotton, if you'll pardon the rhyme in there, picks himself now. He's off to a firing start. You could see it in pre-season. You can't go off pre-season too much, I know, because you're playing well, we did anyway. We played lesser teams, but he was bagging goals, and he's on 4 already. So hope we can build on that. But yeah, on to my score prediction. I'm going for 3-0 Notts. I'm going Wootton 2 and Rodriguez 1. And I hope I'm right on this one. But yeah, we'll go back over to Tom now for his prediction and the wrap up of the video.
Right, my prediction for the game is it's going to be the same as last season. The Boxing Day game, the 3-0, where Notts were 3 up within 25 minutes, half an hour. I'm going 3-0 again. I think it's hard. I always say the same phrase, not to disrespect, but I can't see anything other than a Notts win. They beat Wrexham. Notts, for me, man for man, have more quality than Wrexham. If we play like we did against Barnet in this opening half an hour, we could blow Maidenhead away. We have got to be careful because it's sometimes games like this that we come unstuck. That's the general rule for football, never underestimate your opponent. But for me, a 3-0 win, and I'm going to go for Roberts banging form after his goal against Barnet, and he got his rest against Sutton in the week. I'm also going to go for Enzio to get another. I think he will slowly work his way up. He's got his goal. His performance was okay. Sutton was alright. This is a game he's going to come in. I've said to George, I've said on the channel, for me Enzio's better at Medellin. And I'm going to go for Doyle again. Unbelievable. We've put him and Reeves in the same side. Again, they are just workhorses. They're brilliant. If we can keep those two as the pairing up until the Kings Lynn away for the FA Cup and maybe swap it then, if we can keep them going for that, I'm very confident that the 3-0 win is going to come our way.